proposed candidacy of the convicted criminal, Isaac Buchanan, for drugs, twice convicted.
Yeah.
Yes? And the PNP presented him in Portland on the weekend. Yes? And the PNP leader sought to justify it. Tell me, is it now okay for the PNP and the JLP to put up as parliamentary candidates former criminals, convicted criminals? Is that now okay?
It certainly isn't okay, Cliff, and I'll tell you why. When you have matters before you, you have to consider context and what the nature of a particular scenario is. In Mr. Buchanan's case, what we have seen is a classical case of the PNP prioritizing its political expediency, doing what is politically expedient in the moment, as opposed to what is principled. Because some years ago, we have a gentleman called Peter Blake. He defeated Damian Crawford in the East Rural St. Andrew primary and should have faced the starters. But the PNP had what it calls an internal integrity commission, and it came down in terms of finding adversely against Peter Blake, and so he didn't face the starters in East Rural St. Andrew. Instead, Imani Duncan Price did. And what we're seeing is that the integrity commission that the PNP has often, boasted about, it is apparently in, dormant or somehow in abeyance, because, Isaac Buchanan would have erred in terms of his two drug, related offenses of the past. But it doesn't end here. In 2018, I think, Isaac Buchanan caused the Custos Rotolorum of Kingston, Stedman Fuller at the time, to have been misled in his application to seek to be commissioned as a justice of the peace. He misled in his application, basically indicating he withheld information about his previous run-ins with the law. And subsequent to that as well, Isaac Buchanan had some very disparaging and rude comments that he leveled at the then DPP, Paula Llewellyn. And so what I have advanced several Fridays over on Cliffy's Online with Tyrone Reed is that all of his infractions taken together ought to render Isaac Buchanan as ineligible to serve the people of Portland Eastern as Member of Parliament. But the ball is obviously going to be in their court. They will determine that. And I was making the point to Tyrone as well, that some things are a bridge too far, because in as much as you wouldn't, Cliff, allow a man who has been charged with molesting an 8-year-old girl, or convicted rather of molesting an 8-year-old girl, with teaching your granddaughter swimming or gymnastics, you wouldn't necessarily want Gene and Panton to be presiding over your investment portfolio. There are some things based on a person's criminal antecedents. Essentially, it bars them from holding certain offices, and that's why you have.
And the key word there is certain offices. The key term there is certain offices, because as one who believes in giving people a second chance, yes, but I would imagine the critical term, certain offices. A lot of people are uncomfortable. This is to stand as parliamentarian, to make laws. Yeah?
There you go.
Where does it? Where do we draw the line?
Because
but then, Marlon, just a moment.
Sure.
The American people just elected Donald Trump over in a decisive way, despite his criminal record.
True. There you go. And that is why we are very mindful that the politics is largely retail, and that's why we are happy that our candidate, Anne-Marie Vaz, the very affable Anne-Marie Vaz, is someone who interfaces with her constituents. She's not necessarily about beautiful speaking, but she knows what it takes to get people to the supermarket, to put water in their pipes, and to get their roads fixed. And that's why she's proudly a part of an administration that through the REACH program and the SPARK program will be fixing even more roads in Portland Eastern. So some can talk the talk, but some of us actually get the job done. And Anne-Marie Vaz is my horse in the race.
I hear you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Time for the break.
All the best, Chris.
Good. Time for the break.